Dan gaan we door naar de volgende locatie.
I'll be going now, Mrs. Davis.
May the spirits guide your path.
En dat zal dan... Oh ja, de Spectre Society is er ook bijgekomen. Maar laten we eerst naar de Construction Yard gaan. Dat is een OG-locatie. Ah.
De protestman, ja.
Well, someone certainly wasn't shy about making their opinion known.
Murderers. We kunnen ook niet naar binnen.
Now that is an impressive piece of machinery.
Too many of that.
I suddenly remembered a joke. What's the difference between the HMS Lenore and Chief Snelling? One is a greatly disliked and untrustworthy sack of hot air, and the other is the HMS Lenore. These people have jobs they need to go to. Elect Hart Leroy, the man of the people.
Hart Leroy.
To the choir around here. But the way this gate is set up, I think trespassers should get an award for being able to breach the fortress. Don't these people have jobs they need to go to?
Nou, dan gaan we de leider maar aanspreken.
Pardon me, are you Arthur Devins by any chance?
Yes.
Arthur Devins, dat was die man van die dreigbrieven.
Could I ask you a few questions?
Guess so. Yeah.
You recognize this letter, Mr. Devins?
How'd you get that? That wasn't meant for you.
I found it at the home of Mr. Malcolm Harris. He tells me you've been sending quite a few of these to his father.
Me and everyone else would had someone killed by that devil machine. I'm not the only one, you know.
Perhaps not, but he told me you were the most persistent. What have you got against the Harris family?
Family? Don't know nothing about the family. The only one I got a problem with is Clyde Harris, the one who owns this yard. He's just like all those other rich bastards with their heads in the clouds. The man don't care about the dead. He just wants to make as much money as he can. I'm just trying to make him realize how wrong he is.
Wat een nobele man, hè.
Do you know anything about the kidnapping of Charles Harris?
Charles Harris? Who's that?
Clyde Harris's grandson.
I didn't even know he had a grandson. I can't believe someone with a grandkid, a family, would want more flying death in the air. How many more people have to die before someone realizes that steam machines are evil? People will kill their own mams for a crown these days.
Mr. Harris told me you send a bag of chicken bones and dust along with your letters. Why is that?
Chicken bones? Dust? Nah, that's not right. I've only sent letters.
Are you certain of that?
Yes, as sure as I'm standing here.
Right. And I'm the queen.
Of deze man wordt er ingeluisterd.
If we figure
Zou
out
kunnen.
what the significance of his little gift is.
De aandacht achterleiden.
Ah, we moeten de significance van die kippenbot. Dat halen we waarschijnlijk bij de Society er wel uit.
Why are you out here
Ja,
protesting?
ik heb een bottenloos.
Because what Harris Construction is doing ain't right. I lost my wife in the Ligea crash, and I'm not the only one, neither. Hundreds of people were affected by that disaster, and now these bastards are making another airship. It's like a slap in the face to everyone who died. I just can't understand it.
What do you hope to accomplish by protesting?
Simple. We want construction of the Lenore stopped, and a full investigation into the Ligea disaster. Not only that, we want compensation for our losses. Royal Maverick took care of all the families of those on board, but the families of the ones in the park didn't get a single copper. It just isn't fair. We aim to make things right. After that, it'll just be a matter of time before people realize that there's no future in steam tech, and they'll call the whole thing off.
Ah, the innocence of the downtrodden. I wish I could be as naive as them. It would have made my life a lot easier.
You must have loved your wife very much.
Are you joking? I loved her more than there are stars in the sky. She was my whole world, Mr. Fordham, the light of my life. It's been nothing but cold and dark since she was killed. You're married, aren't you, Mr. Fordham? I see a ring on your finger.
I am, yes.
Then take my advice. Appreciate every moment you have with her. You never know when she'll be ripped out of your life, leaving you with nothing.
You know, this fellow was actually pretty wise.
Een wijze man.
We misjudged him.
Does this piece of fabric look familiar to you?
Looks like it came from some fancy jacket, the type you'd expect to see on the snobs in Leon. I could never afford clothes like that in a million years.
You recognize this button?
Can't say I do, but it looks handmade. I wonder how long it will be before the poor soul who crafted that button gets booted into the street and replaced with some steam-belching contraption.
Lekker hoor.
You seem very
Hij is wel een
dedicated to
hater.
your cause.
Ja.
Take that as a compliment, Mr. Fordham.
There's quite a lot of people who are against steam tech, aren't there?
Yes, the movement is gaining ground and growing rapidly, I'm pleased to say.
I've heard stories about some more extreme members. Do you know anything about that?
You mean Red Hats? Sure, I've heard of them. Even met a few. But if you think I'm telling you anything else beyond that, you're sorely mistaken.
Are you a member of the Redites, Mr. Devons?
No, I prefer more peaceful methods of making
Een
my voice
vredige
heard.
man.
Now, if you don't mind, I think we should drop the subject.
Good day to you, Mr. Devons.
You too, Mr. Fordham.
Nou, dan zijn we hier ook weer klaar voor nu.
Time to reject steam machines.
En dan
They take our jobs, they take our families,
moeten we maar weer door naar de
they take our
volgende plek.
lives.
Lijkt me goed.
Won't
In de
stand
volgende
for this
video.
injustice any
Joe,
longer.
joe.
Joejoe.